We have something super fun today.
We do. We have a super fun free pattern.
Keep watching. Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And John Mossel with Fabric Cafe.
You know what's really fun?
What's that?
Our free pattern program.
That's fitting because, we have a super fun free pattern today.
Fun times! Do we have a lot of fabric and images for you today? Let's get started. Now, this one is Fun Times, and I think I named this one Fun Times because it's done with strip piecing and it's super, super fast. So let's put it on the table and talk about it. We're always talking about the fabric because it's like the fabric just, it speaks to some of us more than others. And this one really speaks to me. I love these colors. And I just think it's so cool the way this has this like kind of a yellowy green here. But
it's really cool.
It's very earthy.
It is.
Yeah, so this is gorgeous. But back to what I was saying earlier, the reason I named this Fun Times is I thought, I used to work with a lady, and her name was Janet, and she used to call patterns that were super easy, no thinkums.
No thinkums.
She said, when you don't want to have to think too hard. So I have some pieces and parts, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy this is to put together. And, of course, the very special aspect is it's a free pattern for you. So let's get started, and I'll show you. I'm going to use this as a background. Okay. The very first thing you're going to do is create strip assemblies. And the strip assembly, it's as easy as A, B, C. So you have your first strip assembly, and then you cut that strip assembly. And when you cut that strip assembly, your block is finished. Now, how easy is that? You can see why. It
really doesn't get any easier than that.
That's right. That's the reason you can call it a no thinkum. All right, if you'll put this over here, I'll show you this particular block, and you place them here, and as we've mentioned in the past, the seam allowances are still on the blocks, right. So whenever you sew them together, those will be on the inside. And then you put another block here, and you sew those together, and you just repeat that over and over, and voila, you have the number of rows that are called for.
And that's really one of the great things that I love about our quilts is that, they are so repetitive in the approach that you use on it. You cut the strips, you cut your blocks, you cut all of that, and it just snaps together just so quick and easy, and it really is fun.
It is. Okay, so let's do the second one. Okay, whoops, I need that.
You need that.
All right. So then we make a second, our B strip assembly, and it's just changing that up a little bit where this was on the inside, the center part, you're sewing them together like this. And then you cut your block, and here's our block cut from that. So that's our B block. And now you can have this, and we put it here, and we put it here. See how it's taking shape? So now we have our second row.
And it's going together so fast.
It is going together so fast. Okay, so you put that one over there. Oh, so let me have that. Then we make our C strip, and it too is super easy. Now, where before we had the light in the middle, now we have the green in the middle. So it's, like I said, it's just super easy. And then you cut your blocks like so, and we put those right down here. And look how that's lining up and just coming together so nicely. Those extra seam allowances kind of throw you for a loop when you're first looking at them.
I think that's a really good point there is how all of this does just snap into place. So if you've got that same exact seam allowance on everything, all of your blocks do fall into place. In fact, that was one of the things I was really surprised about whenever I made my first quilt from our 3-yard patterns, was how precise and detailed everything worked together and just snapped together. It was really a great first quilt for me to put together.
Well, a lot of people don't realize they think they want to learn how to quilt, but then whenever they look at the whole thing, they can't quite grasp it. I once heard a speaker say that how do you eat an elephant? You'd have to eat it one bite at a time. And you look at the whole big quilt and you feel like you just, I don't know if I can do that. But you can. You just do it one block at a time.
It's really easy.
Okay, let's look at this gorgeous fabric. So, as I said, I really like this. The tonality of the fabric is just great. So this is our number 1 fabric, and it's going to be scattered throughout the quilt, and I like the way that kind of makes those little stepping stones there. And then our number 2 fabric is your background fabric, so you compare the 1 and 2 to get your light, and that then is right here. And then our number 3 fabric is going to go in the 3rd strip. So you're just strip piecing these 3 beautiful fabrics, and you'll have this gorgeous quilt. Now let's talk about the name. It's called Happiness Blooms. It's the Fun Time pattern from Easy Peasy. The number is 8023310.
Okay, so this next one's really exciting. I really love batiks. And our first fabric here, fabric number 1, is this gorgeous blue with just the hints of the greens in there on this. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous fabric. And that's going to go everywhere on our quilt here that we have the lighter green here. Then our number 2, I think this is another really fun batik-y kind of, almost that kind of tie-dye t-shirt kind of a look on this number 2 fabric. That's going to go everywhere. We've got our lighter colors here on our quilt. And then our number 3 is just really just striking.
That is going to look so good.
It is. It's going to look great because we're going to have some of that here in our darker, on our border number 1 and in our in these blocks. And it's also going to be out here on our binding that we've got on this.
And it's going to be turned kind of sideways whenever you see it in the block.
Exactly.
That's really
So
cool.
that's going to be great to see all of that in there. So these really go together nicely. And I think it's going to just make a really good example of this Fun Times quilt.
But I can't wait any longer. What does it look like?
What does it look like? Oh, we know how much you love those images for you. So here's a finished image on that. So you can see that you've got all those little the little leaves in there on that, and it's just so much movement and excitement that's happening in this quilt. So let's talk about the quilt information on this one is Caribbean Dreams. What a great name. It's 8023312, and again, it's using that free Fun Times pattern, and that's from the book Easy Peasy.
You know, I love the fact that we have all of these images to share with them because we got to see this beautiful quilt and the fabric that it was made with.
Very true.
But now we're changing it up, and the images are just stunning.
They are.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this gorgeous fabric, and this is not a batik, but it has a kind of a batik-y look with that, you know, the blending of colors and the different, I can't even imagine how many layers of colors they had to put down on this one. It is gorgeous. So this is our number 1 fabric, and it's going to go everywhere you see the green. Isn't that pretty?
That's gorgeous.
Gorgeous. And then to pick up our number 2, and Fran and I have been talking about this a lot in the different videos that we've been making, and that is that the number 2 fabrics are getting more and more interest in them. They're not just flat, they really do have a lot of dynamic movement going on in them too. So you get it great, and you'll see that in that image as well.
And really, I mean, all 3 of these fabrics in this are really just got a very natural, organic feel to them and giving that interest.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. And then the number 3 fabric, and here's a good example for you. You know, we always tell you pick your focus and then compare your next 2 fabrics that are left over. You make the lightest number 2 and the darkest number 3. And even if your number 1 is the darkest fabric, that will work. It's the way we design the fabrics. It's the secret sauce, so to speak. So we compared those and made that number 2. The number 3 is beautiful. And I really love the way this looks in this image. Is not that gorgeous?
That is absolutely gorgeous.
That is such a pretty, pretty quilt. It's another one of those quilt patterns that I think you could put just about any fabric in and it would look fantastic.
You know, so this Fun Times, you can see, is just really a versatile pattern, and you can see that with some of these images that we're showing you today, and even the example that we have here on the table. And you know, there's a great thing that you want to do to keep up on what our latest free pattern is be sure to subscribe here on YouTube, and you'll find out as soon as everybody else does that you've got a new opportunity to get that free pattern.
Now, it's important that you ring the little bell.
Very true.
Yes, so that you can get those notifications. Now, this kit is called Watercolor Nature 8023309 Fun Times is the pattern, and that's from the book Easy Peasy 3-Yard Quilts.
Okay, so we've looked at a couple of really nice kind of floral and some really nice organic things. Now let's look at some fabric that is a little bit more on the children's side of things. And I think this is just a really, really cute fabric.
I'm always saying that, this is the kind of quilt that you'll want to make whenever your daughter gives you a call and says, Mom, Susie Q is going to have a baby shower, and I was wondering if you would make a quilt. And you say, sure, when is it? Saturday.
Exactly.
You can make this one in a hurry.
And I think that's one of the great things about this Fun Times pattern is that it is a great go-to pattern. So, maybe this is going to be one of those that you fall in love with and be in that great versatile pattern. So we've got these adorable little cute chicks on here, and there are a bunch of them. Kind of reminds me of back when I was a teenager at home and we were doing the chicken farm thing, and we'd get our shipment of chicks in, and it'd be a whole box of them. It'd just be the box full of little yellow puff balls. It was so cute. But anyway, so we've got our #1 fabric here with our little chicks on it. That's going to be everywhere that we've got our #1 fabric in here, which is the green. So we'll have some chicks out here on the border. We've got our little chicks running along in our little stair step here. And then we've got, just to kind of add a little contrast to this, we've got a nice light blue with a nice little organic leaf on it. That's going to be everywhere that our lighter colors are here. That's going to really get us some nice contrast. And then #3, wait for it, these are just so cute. We've got the little cute little rabbits. Are they all rabbits? They're all rabbits. We've got our little cute bunnies in here of all different colors with their little pink ears and all of that, and just cute little positions that they're sitting in. Such a cute little, maybe an I Spy quilt that you could do with this. So we've got those in there, and of course the bunnies are going to go everywhere that our darker fabric is, so we'll have some of those out here on the border and in that dark block.
Well, you know what's really fun about this particular kit is that the size of the print is just perfect for the size of that block. And we know that sometimes you wonder about, well, can I do a great big print in a smaller block, or do I do a great big block with a smaller print?
True.
So if you have any questions that you would like for us to cover in future videos, maybe questions about selecting your fabric, comparing your fabrics, and things like that, I hope you'll put them in the comments so we'll know what you're looking for and what questions you'd like us to answer.
That's a great suggestion. We love hearing from you.
So let's look at this one in an image.
So the image on this one is just too cute with all the bunnies and the chicks on there. As you can see, you get some just nice pastel colors that are on this, and just really just an adorable kit.
And I can see the babies just sitting there, kind of looking and picking those little chicks out.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
So let's tell you about the fabric on this one. It's called Farm Babies, and it's 8023308. And again, it's that free Fun Time patterns that we used on this out of that book, Easy Peasy.
Now this is fun. It always makes me think about when we get those in Texas, in our area, they're considered freak snowfalls. We just don't get that much snow. But every once in a while, it gives us enough that we can make a snowman.
Yeah, they're about this big.
Yeah. And if you're in a hurry, but don't wait till the sun comes out because it might melt. But you can always have a quilt with cute little snowmen on it.
Definitely.
They are. And can you remember making snowmen when you were a little boy?
I do.
Yeah. We live in Arkansas, and maybe it snowed at least twice as much.
Maybe.
Okay, we're going to put our snowmen in the #1 position of this quilt. I can't wait to show them how cute this turns out.
This image is going to be cute.
And then we have this stripe. And remember, whenever we design our patterns, we love stripes, and we like to put them in a position so that they don't conflict. They don't cause you grief and heartache. They're always easy. So in this case, they're going to be right here, and they're going to be striped like this.
That's awesome.
And there's no stripes to compare or to match up. So it's fun.
Very good point.
Easy. And then this, look at that snow. Isn't that pretty? And that's going to go in the #3 spot. It'll also be part of the border and the binding. Now, please show us the image.
Oh, the image is so cute.
Isn't that cute? Those little snowmen. Now, those are another perfect sized print for this little cut of this particular one.
And that stripe just works so well in that design.
It does. And it scatters those snowmen all over the cover or the front of your quilt. So this one is called Flurry, friends, and it's 8023311 Fun Times is the pattern, and it's from the book Easy Peasy 3-Yard Quilts. I think we've had a super fun time today. One of my favorite things to do is to give you a free pattern, but we haven't told you how to get that pattern.
Well, it's really easy. You just go up to fabriccafe.com. We've got a menu item up there, a little tab that's going to be free goodies, and under free goodies you'll find that free pattern there. All you have to do is just click on that download button and it's all yours for nothing.
I know, isn't that cool? But remember, these patterns change every few months with our free pattern program. So make sure that you get it quickly and like and subscribe if you want to have notifications when we do this again.
Very true. So it's John Mossel
and Donna Robertson. Thanks so much for joining us.